Shalom. First and foremost, we give all praise, honor, and glory to
YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, HAQADASH.
All right, we're going to give double honors to Apostle of the Great Millstone, Teacher Real, Will. All right, with the sister Shalom. All right, you put us out there pushing the words and city of truth, as well as the men, women, and children who believe in the name of YAHAWASHI, man. All right, we come and put us with GMS people camp, get back together for another lesson through the spirit. It's going to be entitled Hard Times Upon the Society, man. Because we was talking about briefly off camera the fact that mentioned that American Black movie, that's been a hot topic on this place, etc. The fact that little things are going to be essential, and a bunch of different calamities, different hardships are going to come upon these people that they're not thinking about in their everyday life, man. Or when a shit is the fan scenario, the brothers talking about it, they think that they're going to be able to really run to things like FEMA, run to Esau's, what's it called, military, etc., but they believe they're going to be able to rely on Esau when all hell breaks loose, but different claims will come upon them, man. They're going to be caught off guard. And one of the things we had mentioned, the fact was, we got it right here, it's called the Parliament Act in 1765. Basically, that was the Quartering Act. I'm not going to go ahead and read this whole thing, but I'm just going into it. Basically, how the British military, I'm pretty sure Brendan had learned about it in school a little bit. Basically, they was forcing the people to house the soldiers, man. And what were the soldiers doing? They was raping the men's wives. They was taking all their food, eating their food sources up. They had to house them for them for sleeping, etc. And that's going to be happening in America. And when all World War III breaks out and the hard time for society, they think they're going to rush these troops. But these troops, man, they going to be, like Buzz Williams, they going to be some of the main ones doing the action, man. And that immediately, hearing that immediately brought us one scripture right here, man.
2 Ezra chapter 16, and I'm going to start at verse 70. It says, "For there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord." Verse 71, "They shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord."
God, we understand that great persecution is going to come upon the believers, man. The prophets, the believers, but really, like brothers going to went to that scripture, really all Israel, man. You're going to be the main target. That's why it's called Jacob's Shuffle, man. You be the main focus that the Lord will have Esau out here aiming for, man. The devil shall come down having great wrath because he knows he has for a short time. The main target are you 12 tribes, man. Okay, like they show you in the movie, the first Purge. That's one of my favorite movies because that should be called Jacob's Shuffle, man. Literally, show you Esau. He sent his different little mercenary groups, the unmarked mercenary groups, who going to the projects where Jake lived. Going where Jake lived. Clearly, wiping everything out from floor to floor. He's dropping shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? They're going floor to floor. He's breaking down the doors. He's laying everything down.
And they also had the chip in that movie too.
Yeah, that's right.
So the part where they was putting the chip inside you, where they would track everything. Yeah. Those particular people who took the chip was doing it.
Yeah, the crime. You know what I'm saying?
It's lucky too, and that word insurrection, or that word insurrection goes back to the word uprising. You know what I'm saying? Because it's gonna be all out chaos, man. And this is what Esau does. He tries to bring order out of chaos, but in the midst of that, it's going to be lawlessness. Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, and you're gonna have these people that you think are gonna help you. That's what I should say. You look for a nation that cannot save us, man. Right. So you're gonna put your trust in these UN troops, right? These FEMA guards, and what are they gonna do, man? They're gonna score in your house, man. They're gonna ravish your wife. That's right. You know, they're gonna eat up all your food, man. All the same food that you think is gonna, you're gonna have for these hard times, man. Yeah. These military people gonna eat that up, man.
They were doing it in the Civil War.
Mm-hmm. And they also showed that on the movie The Road, where the person they ain't take the person goods, but you had basically the doomsday preppers. Basically they had food in the bunker, they had a whole bunch of stuff in the bunker, but they ended up dying in their house. So when the man and his son ran across the house on the road, they found all that stuff in the bunker, and basically all that stuff was given to them. Like they basically took hold of all that stuff that some other doomsday preppers prepared for. The 2 Ezra chapter 16, verse 72. Well, I'm gonna bring 71 down. It says, "They shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord."
That's why you ain't gonna be able to negotiate with these troops, man. They ain't gonna negotiate and ask them for mercy or offer them gold and silver, you know what I'm saying? And offer them different things upon your house, they gonna kill you and take it anyway, man. So it's not gonna matter, man. That's why the scripture talk about, riches profit not, and their wrath and righteousness delivered from death, man. The only way you're able to get out of this situation is that thought, man. That mark of existence from judgment from YAHWASHI, YAHWASHI. That's it, man. If you don't have that covenant with the Lord, you be subject to anything that's from y'all hearing these elements, bro. And again, with hard times upon the society, like right now, somebody lock their doors, they have security systems, make sure it's safe and secure. You don't even feel safe and secure in your own house, man. Every single noise you hear in the hallway, like, damn, is somebody about to come get you, you know what I'm saying? You be uncertain, unsure.
That's how that's I talk about that in Wisdom of Solomon. Yeah, the 14th chapter about the apparition. People gonna be scared in that. You know what I'm saying? We got to fly.
Yeah, this is Wisdom of Solomon. Just a quick hit. This is Wisdom of Solomon 9, and last verse. This is Wisdom of Solomon 9 and 18. It says, "For so the ways of them which lived on the earth were reformed, and men were taught the things that are pleasing unto thee, and were saved through wisdom." So, like the brother was saying, man, it's going to come down to the wisdom. What wisdom? The wisdom and knowledge and understanding of YAHWASHI, YAHWASHI, which is the knowledge of the heavens, man. Okay, that's going to be the only thing that sustain a man or woman in that time when society reaches its max, man. Okay, the brother mentioned not having gold or silver. Like, these ain't no respect to persons, because really the judgment is coming from the Lord. The Lord is sending those truths and different things. And then the brother mentioned preppers. Those preppers are really gathering up food and things like that for the elect, man. That's what the elect is going to be eating on in the days, man. You know what I'm saying? All that prepping food, you're really preparing that for the men of the Lord, man. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be that wisdom that actually leads these brothers in these households that's under the elect to these different domains to be under the shadow of the Lord, man. Which is, if you go to that word shadow, it's a protection,
And that's why Isaiah 33 says that wisdom and knowledge shall be distributed at that time. All right, you're going to have to use that wisdom. And what is wisdom? That's the knowledge that you know, but applying that knowledge.
which is YAHWASHI.
Exactly. Yeah.
It says, 2 Ezra chapter 16, verse 72. "For they shall waste and take away their goods, and cast them out of their houses. Then shall they be known who are my chosen."
And that's exactly what was missing about the Parliament Act for the soldiers, man. That's exactly what they were doing. Rapturing, taking your goods. Literally, you can have a bunch of food stock that literally it was in the law where they could come up and just eat it and have the house on soldiers, man. So it's the same like what happened now. You know what I'm saying? Like, these World War III stories up. They got shoot not even just World War III, when all hell breaks loose, period, man. Because like here, showing that American Blackout movie, that as the days went on, the longer they got power, man, eventually people realize, like, damn, ain't no police law and order, ain't no police that's coming to get me. I think people just doing whatever they want, man. So what happened in the movie? They ended up showing Marshall Day introducing martial law. But it mentioned the fact that how he saw he had a reaction, man. You know what I'm saying? He caused the problem, then he gets the reaction of the people who come with a solution. Okay, what's he gonna do? He's gonna break down society, whether it be a blackout, whatever it's gonna be. And then what he's going to, after people riot, chaos, calamity, okay, it's chaos in the street, people killing each other, invading one another, then he's going to bring in the martial law. Okay, then that's going to justify his troops coming in and do whatever they want to do.
Yep, because like you mentioned earlier, man, these people is going to, because who else are they going to run to? They run to the government now for all these things, WIC programs, these different programs, because of their condition. So when their condition worsens, who else they going to turn to? They're going to turn to their father, the devil, man. Right. You know what I'm saying? So, but he's going to betray them. You see what I'm saying? Like the brother mentioned earlier, they're going to, a lot of the troops going to actually be having a good guy act on, smile. Right. We're here to help you. Right. You know what I'm saying? But they order us to go in there and kill. But they have to kind of like go in there with that deceptive means. Oh, yeah, and then they're going to take you, man, take the woman, they're going to be walking. I seen on movies, soldiers doing that, they get all the goods and put it in a little brown bag and just walking out with the gun. And the niggas crying, like, yeah, man. So it's nobody gonna be able to trust in that day, but me, the men of the Lord, man.
And also to add on to your point, a lot of these troops, you wearing troops, gonna be speaking different languages.
Yeah.
They just go off what the orders did. But you might be running, screaming for help. They think you trying to attack.
Exactly.
But what you speaking, they kill your ass.
And when people not thinking too, the troops that's gonna be mainly doing that. But you got different levels. The highest form of Esau's military is the ones with the blue hats. Okay, going into what was that? The FEMA soldiers, I believe, right? So when those troops is walking the grounds, man, okay, it's a wrap, man, because they mindset is like black ops type of mindset. They come in to kill and and completely follow order. They're not gonna have a soft spot like some army, militant or an officer. No, they're not gonna have a soft spot, man, because they're high. They're sent there from the highest up, man. You know what I'm saying? So you got it up.
It says,
Hey, so like, what's that one movie? I don't know if y'all know the name of it. It was like in Africa somewhere, and basically the dude he had like a whole bunch of people, you know, in a hotel
Rwanda.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
But basically, those was UN troops. Like they had the UN on their hats.
Yeah, that's
They
what
was
I'm talking
UN,
about.
they was UN
Yep,
troops.
yep.
And basically, they goal was to do what the order was.
That's
Kill
it.
all them,
That's it.
them so-called African people, kill all of them, and that was just the order. But the dude with the whole hotel, he was like protecting them. But the point is, the UN troops members, they had a certain order. It was to kill all those people who they was ordered to kill.
Yeah, because they're above the military. You know what I'm saying? Like they are the military, but they like they're the highest level of it. You know what I'm saying?
2 Ezra chapter 16, verse 73. Then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as the gold in the fire. Hear, O ye my beloved, saith the Lord, behold, the days of trouble are at hand, but I will deliver you from the same.
Yeah, that's why this truth right now is quite the value about it. That's what we're talking about about inflation, hyperinflation. This truth about to be inflated, man. As far as the price, people ain't gonna be able to afford it, man. You know what I'm saying? Because really the only thing that's gonna matter when the time comes is the mercy of the Lord. Who's the Lord dealing with, man? Because again, if you don't have the mercy of the Lord, there's literally no way to get past it. Like again, it's like if you get past a certain level, you get stuck at another level. You know what I'm saying? You may have food stocked up, or you may have guns, etc. You may be able to protect yourself, or you may have you have these different militias out here. You may have a group of like 30 Edomites together, they doing so-called well, but it's gonna be something else that comes along that's gonna get them. And the Lord has judged prepared for everybody.
I got a perfect precept for you. Now what is it? No, it's a y'all know what I'm talking about. They that escaped the sword. Famine should be killed by the sword. It's literally yeah. So, but based off the brother point, there is no way you can escape it, man.
Start at verse 21. This 2 Ezra chapter 16, verse 21. Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth that they shall think themselves to be a good case. And that already happened. That has already happened because you have people getting their stimmy checks. During that time, prices was low on things. Things was more convenient for people. And people were at a comfortable state. It says, they shall think themselves to be in good case, and even then shall evils grow upon earth, sword, famine, and great confusion.
Confused. Again, in that movie American Black, I was confused. You had to eat those brothers of sin. You had to eat my lady, she fucking crying, talking about lies in the Red Cross, nobody helping us. What's going on? She's in tears. Okay, her man, that real proud, rich Edomite was sitting in bed with a cut, not knowing through, man. Yeah, I ain't gonna give the movie away for all the brothers of sin, but you know what happened to her after that, man. Okay, they're gonna be through. And be confused, like, man, why can't they turn the power back on? Why is society collapsing? Why is everybody killing each other, man? Why is this going on? Just a week ago, I had a perfect life, man. You know what I'm saying? Everything was secure. I had a good job. You know what I'm saying? Not everything is all hell, bro.
Everything's good this week. Brother got a good point too, but he was like, damn, what you say? Because you just said something similar. Because he was like, I forgot, but roughly paraphrasing, like, these people don't know what to do. So, like, a good example of that was when, and they know that they mocked you actually, because when the P first hit, in fact, 2 years ago, niggas was doing what? Panic buying. But what was they getting in their panic buying? They was getting tissue. They was getting dumb shit, bro. They weren't getting, like the brother said, it was shells full of flour, you know, or rice. They weren't getting, it wasn't things that was gonna be promoted. Exactly. The one brother did a video. He said he had bought a big pound of rice. Brother, I forgot his page, but he said he bought a big pound of rice when it first hit because Apostle Tahar was talking about it. So then he said he went to the store. He bought a big thing of rice. He said he's still eating that shit to this day, man. So it's like 2 years later, he still got supply. But you know what I'm saying? So like, people don't know how to filter water. You know, they don't know to do little shit like that. You know what I'm saying? What we was talking about? It was at the crib, wild lettuce and shit like that. They don't know about the different shit like that.
Things of the field, that's of the earth. And that's where you say people were paid by it. So when the pandemic first happened, you had all in the stores was packed. Yeah, I remember I was in the store too getting some canned goods, and it's cold. That's where you say like, I still got some canned goods from that time period. But basically, I was gonna say I was getting some canned goods. I ended up running across this Keisha that I know in there, and she was like, "Yeah, I'm scared. I don't know what to do. I'm scared." Then she like, "Why you scared?" I'm like, "Hell no, I'm not scared." I'm like, "No." Then she looking at me, bugged out like, "Why you buying all them canned goods for?" I'm like, "What you mean?"
They can't even comprehend
like,
simple shit.
right. It was just bugged out because in her mind, it was just I'm panicking. I don't know what to do. But in my mind, I'm like, okay, y'all about shut up, feel me about the. Like this is it. Like, oh, the Lord about to work.
You know, if I can add Slacky, because y'all don't know some of them was young. I don't know how old I was. You remember the blackout? The first blackout? Y'all remember?
Yeah,
I heard about it.
I was at work.
Yeah, I was, you know, right, you know what I'm saying? I was, you know, about 12, I forgot how old I was. I was teenager. I was close to being a teenager, but when the blackout happened, I remember my people, they went to go get us some food. So I believe what is it? It's only Canada, New York. It was only the East Coast. Yeah. So what happened was the only place that had a light in Ohio was Twinsburg. So everybody in Cleveland was driving to Twinsburg. That's the only place that had light, man. So long story short, she was like, everybody was tripping because obviously the toilet wasn't running. That's in the scripture. It said the water should be, you know, for 3 hours or so. It should not run. The only place that was open was McDonald's. That's what I'm saying. And she said they was about to run out of food. People was tripping. The line was so long, it went from the McDonald's. Y'all know what I'm talking about. It's McDonald's off of going towards Pittsburgh by Ford and all that. The freeway ain't that far from it, but I think so. And it goes, the freeway goes, people with cars backed up all the way in the freeway, all the way back. That's in the line to get into McDonald's. And then she said they had got some food. They got one of the last foods that was available. They was running all out of food. And then the gas stations, she said it was like that. The gas station, she said it took them 6 hours just to get food. You know what I'm saying? So like, this shit gonna get real, man. You know, but the only thing is you're not gonna have a McDonald's with a power surge running. That shit over with, man.
Everything.
You know what I'm saying?
And they showed it on, the trailer. They showed it on the trailer. The movie never came out. They showed it on the trailer. Race Day. Basically, it was a scene of the movie. The lady was like going through the aisles, and every shelf was empty.
Yeah. It's like right there.
2 Ezra chapter 16, verse 22. For many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy.
Yeah, right. The brother's point, man. There's nowhere you can go, man. You might be like, all right, boy, you got away with it. But no, the human truth gonna get your ass. A nigga that's been practicing in his backyard gonna get your ass. You know what I'm saying? Somebody with special capabilities with the sword gonna get your ass. There's nothing you can do that you can escape it. You know what I'm saying? In that time, man.
Even in Amos said that he fled from a lion and a bear man.
Right,
You know,
exactly.
he put his hand on the wall and the serpent bit.
Exactly.
You know, so your judgment is ordained, and no matter what you can do, it's gonna happen. You know, and a lot of people gonna have this judgment. You know, but you know, especially our women, man, being harlots and you know, yeah, exactly, man. These UN troops ain't gonna show no mercy, man. You know,
That's why scriptures talk about being given over to their own devices.
Yeah,
You know, saying like you said, listen to women, the fact that they delight in your voice, they praise that.
Yeah.
That's an honor in this society. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, what is that music came out? FNN, Fuck Nigga Free.
Yeah.
FREE, that little shit, bro. A women like that, we just be having to them in time of trouble, man.
Yeah.
They gonna not only are they gonna be giving away their bodies willingly to get food, like look, I such and such XYZ, you know what I'm talking about, to be able to get a piece of your food, but then shit, niggas be taking it from you, you know what I'm saying?
But stuff like that gonna be happening at the beginning stages, like the stages we're going into now.
Right,
I saw a clip. I don't know where she was at. She was like a Northern Kingdom. She was talking a different language, she was like, because when the pandemic first hit, she had to do that, man.
Yeah, I remember that.
She started,
Oh,
she
yeah,
went to
God,
it, yeah,
yeah.
she was like, man, she was salty because she was like, I had no choice. But she had all these motherfuckers living with her, man. And she had to be the one to go out there and give her body up, man, just to bring man bread, man.
That goes back to the time of lesson. Hard times upon the society. You people might lose your comfort. You might lose that because you people are proud, man. Okay, let's really talk about what and tell you what second year is 8 chapter. And many great misery shall be done to them, which in latter time go on the earth because they have lost their great pride, man. You people, you don't even appreciate the basic things that is in your everyday life. Like you don't realize like how much that you rely on. You know what I'm saying? Again, about the power being out, that's the main thing. Like, bro, literally nothing's working. Toys don't flush. Fucking the sink faucet and water ain't running. Like, bro, just like that, everything you know is just gone.
Your security system.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Your
right,
phone.
right,
You know, everything that people the necessities, man. Well, you don't need your phone. You know what I'm saying? But you know, water. You know what I'm saying? You need you know, electricity to run certain appliances to keep food warm. People don't know how to keep food cold, man.
Yeah, they don't know how to start fires. Vehicles. Well, I just go to drive my car. No, but you're not gonna drive your vehicles. All the vehicles and things are connected to the grid.
That's a spirit. I forgot the bitch's name, but it was a celebrity. It was she looked like an Edomite, and basically she was like on TikTok or she was on some social media and she basically was crying like basically this was when the pandemic happened. She was like you farm girls 2020 this your year.
Yeah.
We don't know how to a man not gonna want a woman that man gonna want a woman who know how to catch a chicken. They know how to start a fire and so on and so forth. Basically, she was saying like it's over with for all of us. Like we finished. Us the city girls, that shit always because you don't know how to do shit. The spirit. We was talking about that. We was on the way jumping the brother off. We was about that earlier. How basically like you got Jakes that don't know how to do nothing. You know, and portray themselves as a man. You gotta.
The pretty boys.
Right, you got it right, exactly. You don't know how to do nothing.
Women ain't gonna want no pretty boy in that time. Man.
Exactly. And a man ain't gonna want a bitch that they can't do shit for him.
Exactly.
Walk step over that.
Hell yeah, bro. I got that's great. That made me think Isaiah 4:1. That is called by that name because they looking for protection.
Exactly, but look, it said we would eat our own bread, we're our own apparel. So it's that they said like nothing. It was don't even worry about feeding us. Don't worry about how we go clothe us. Don't worry about none of that. We just try to follow after you.
Yeah. I got the etymology for hard because you have quoted the title against the lesson. This is the etymology for hard. It says solid and firm, not soft. You know what I'm saying? It says also difficult to endure. Carried on with great exertion. Also a person severe, rigorous, harsh, cruel. You know, difficult. One of the main ones is difficult to endure.
That's the time. That's the time to take a chuckle, man. I love Matthew 24 talking about time of great cheap relationships that never was. You know what I'm saying? And that Daniel 12:1. You know what I'm saying? All these different precepts that come to his mind, like, bro, it's about to get hard out here. Man. Especially, bro, I always say for Babylon, very specifically, because how delicious this place that we live, man. How much luxury and comfort is in this place. That's why it's gonna catch people so off guard, man. Even like again, before that movie with the popping off, people they was even tripping by the first like 1 or 2 days, like, oh, this is America. They just definitely come back on. There's nothing you even worry about. You know what I'm saying? They was going on barbecues.
Yeah.
And now gonna be this society when shit first they maybe get uncomfortable, say or something happens, however the world can have to play out. People like, oh, they'll get back to normal. I ain't tripping right now. I mean, this is just something that they even said that in the movie, man. It was like this is gonna be something to look at back and remember, like, yeah, remember that was crazy. It's the same thing they do now. You gotta think about it. We're like 2 years now toward really basically into this so-called this pandemic thing, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Now it's a new virus, whatever, coming out that Esau's moving on to that. So this C1 is pretty much over with now. Right. People literally talk about life after the pandemic. Yeah, remember when it first happened? It was crazy. Not even knowing it's about to come back again.
Right, exactly, because the pandemic never ended.
Right.
You got in China, you got all this shit in China. Lockdowns because of the C19 and basically people dropping dead, so on and so forth. All you people then took the juicy juice and they never said the numbers so-called went down. Like it ain't go nowhere. It's just not in the media or like that. how it was when it first came out.
A movie bro should check out. It's a documentary. It's called The First Pandemic, and it goes into the bird flu that happened in society the first time, and it's the same exact things and the steps that they took then. They're doing it now. It's at a higher level. It's affected more because of the way the world runs now, of higher technology and the less dependency on of natural things. So it affects you more. But in the pandemic, the first pandemic is the name of the documentary. They had 6 stages. All right, they had 6 stages of it, and the brother, I remember last year, the brother went into that. He had a document from like the government or something that talked about the 6 stages.
Oh, you talking about Brother Chicago? You talking about proof it was all planned?
I think so. I was trying to look for. I thought it was, but yeah, no, because you see, heavy, right?
Yeah,
Because on the 6th stage, they was what they planned to have everybody CHIP.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? On that 6th stage.
That go into the 7 vials that the Lord going to send upon His place through them angels. The 7 vials that the angels poured out, the 7 trumpets, the 7 plagues. You know, that's all that the Lord. He about to send a plague. That number 7 represents completion. The Lord is about to send something that people have never experienced before.
Hey, on top of that, I just get it. So it's crazy how everything coming so fast. Because an article just came out. I mentioned it in the chat, but like a couple of weeks ago, either China or the U.S. came out with it. It said that we are entering into the 5th stage of this pandemic. I'm like, damn, they everything on track. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, so they get ready for that 6th. You know what I'm saying?
It's lucky too, and that's why in Isaiah the 47th chapter it calls this place the virgin daughter of Babylon, because nothing like this has ever happened to this place. Okay, that's why the scripture call this place a golden cup. The scripture calls say that they have a golden cup in the Lord's hand. All right, because this place is reserved for this heavy judgment, and these people, these modernized Americans, they think that everything's all good, man, because they haven't seen anything like it. The not since the Great Depression in the 1920s. It's gonna be even worse than that, man. All right.
Let me grab this real quick. This 1 Peter chapter 4 verse 17. It says, "For the time is come that judgment must begin at the house of Yahawah, and if it first began at us, what shall the end be of them that obey not the gospel of Yahawah?" All right, because you got to understand, man. We speaking against this society. If we speaking against this society and everyone else is for it, then what they're gonna do? We're gonna be persecuted, man. The scriptures talking about how the servant is not greater than his master. So judgment gonna begin at the men who actually are acquiring of the Most High first and foremost. That's when we read 2nd Ezra. It say that a great insurrection should rise up against them who fear the Most High, right? Because we actually fear YAHWASHI, so we're going to be the main targets. We're not just no regular Israelites, man. The things that we're doing, this ain't just no regular task. We're doing something that's 10 times more important beyond us, man. When you read about how the 12 disciples was persecuted, how they died, those were grievous deaths, man. All right, not saying that we gonna, right. Not saying everybody gonna have to go through that, of course, because we know the scripture say how the scripture say everyone shall not sleep. But just bringing home that point that we're going to, the house of the judgment is going to begin at those who believe first and foremost. So how much more for those who don't believe? Where they going to end up at?
It's lucky too, and that's why the scripture say in Revelation that the beast made war with the remnant of the saints that kept the commandments and the faith of Yahawashi.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, but that's the only one that Esau's worried about, man. He ain't worried about niggas that's putting 24 inch rails and on their car and shit, man. You know what I'm saying? They worried about the ones that's out there in the houses and hedges preaching the gospel in truth and sincerity.
I'm gonna keep mentioning it, bro. No, it's like y'all, because I'm gonna keep mentioning, like, go back to brother, you know what I'm saying, those elect virgins. Okay, in the law, if she was getting handed by another man, and she don't cry out, they both get put to death, or if she belongs to another man, you know what I'm saying, then they both get put to death. But if she cried out, then the man that acted upon it will get put to death. And that's what's going on now. But it's just the Lord has set aside a remnant that's actually doing the crying out. So they're not gonna get put to death with the one that's trying to uphold another man's life. Another man's life, which they back or the wife of YAHWASHI, man. So just to back the brother up, that's how you're gonna do it with that CHIP. Okay, it's his rod, you know, his seed. He's trying to impregnate another man's wife, man.
Put his name upon
Put his name. There you go. Yeah.
Verse 18, it says, and if the righteous scarcely be saved, where should the ungodly and the sinner appear? And we go down where scarcely it means barely, like a very slim chance. But for the righteous, the men that the Lord actually has compassion and mercy upon, they're gonna barely make it. So how much more for those who could give less than a fuck about this ministry, about the Lord, about righteousness in the Bible.
Right, right. They go back to these people. They don't have a chance. They don't understand the chance of what's coming. You got these people. You will walk up to somebody and they get all fidgety and sick. Somebody like that is not about to make it in the day of the time of trouble. The day of somebody like that gonna drop dead or they grabbed up and killed. They killed previously or something. Somebody like that. That mean they mindset is weak as hell or they far gone on some other stuff. You know, I had a precept real quick. This 2 Timothy 3:12. It said, yeah, and all that live godly in Yahawashai shall suffer persecution. So okay, even though everybody not gonna taste death at the same time, and you got to name something or if you label as Israelite, you're going to be a target regardless. It don't matter if you found the truth. It don't matter you just had a label somewhere. If you got that label that you were Israelite or you under Yahawah, so on and so forth, you gonna be a target. But first and foremost, the ones that's actually sincere in the truth. You know, it said all that live godly and how much you got shall suffer persecution. So you gonna be harassed. You gonna be basically looked down upon for this ministry. You know, and the ones who gonna do it is who? First and foremost, it's gonna be your own people. You saw how your own people do it, especially your so-called family niggas you related to. I don't care how close. I don't care how close you was with somebody, you got into it with it, they hate you. Out of all the Israelites, your so-called family, the niggas you relate to, they hate you the most. They hate you more than everybody else. That's speaking on Israel. They hate you they hate you the most out of everybody that fucking know you. Your own family, your own lineage. You know, and those gonna be the ones that's gonna persecute you, that's gonna turn against you, that's gonna set you up. Like I said, some of you, they say you're gonna be betrayed both by brethren, parents, kinsfolk. That's your own people. And some of you, so they put the death. It's called your own people. Just like Yahawashi, it was his own people that came against him. It was his own heathens. Yeah, let's keep those his own people.
But what is like? They gonna think they do the most high service.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
That's gonna make them feel justified.
Yeah. Exactly, and the Lord gonna destroy their ass, man. You know, and 2/3 of the 2/3 is the majority of Israelites, man. It's for an evil men and its seducers shall wax worse and worse, deceiving and being deceived. So as we grow more in the spirit, these people get waxed worse and worse in wickedness, man. And they actually get more bugged out in the mind, man. That's why the Lord about to bring these different plagues and these different calamities upon them, man. You know, to the point where they should try to kill the prophets or kill the prophets, man. You know, so that's how bugged out these people gonna get, man.
Another true Jew 144 posted 2nd 15, 24, 26 said, "Woe to them that sin and keep not my commandments," said the Lord. "I will not spare them, go your way, and children from the power, defiling not my sanctuary. For the Lord will reward them that sin against him, and therefore deliver he them unto death and destruction. For now the plagues come upon the whole world, and ye shall remain in them. But the Most High shall not deliver you because you have sinned against him." That's the fact that they point to. That you said it's going to be, I forgot exactly. Just back to the point of the claim of like the 2/3 and how Jacob owned 2/3 of our people, 66.6 of our people. That's the number with the sword. whose number is 666 is going to actually perish, man. You know, and the Lord said they're going to remain in those plagues. They're going to remain in that judgment. Okay, because why? He's not going to pour back or the sword this time or that bow, so to speak. Man. Okay, it's only a remnant that's going to be redeemed out of the chaos of society. You know, I tell you that in Job 5. Okay, he's going to preserve you from 6 troubles. Yeah, 7 should not. No, yeah, come. And then they tell you that too in Revelations 15, when John was in the chariot. You know what I'm saying? He was looking down. Okay, because he was beamed up. Revelations 11. Okay, he was being beamed up within that chaos. Because that chaos at its max is not going to touch the man. Or World War III, I should say. You know. Go ahead.
But this is Revelation chapter 3 and verse 10. It says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. All right. So not only is Jacob going to go through this, man, but the whole entire world. All right, because this is a whole new world order, man. All right. So this is why Jake has to get right, because Esau don't give a damn about his own people, man. How much does he care about you? All right, so I'm speaking toward myself first. You know what I'm saying? That we're gonna have to get the scripture talk about in the second area to get a set on house in order. Okay, because we're gonna have to be able to use that wisdom and knowledge in order for us to fight these perilous times that are coming. All right.
Yeah, we went into yesterday that word peril goes into like things basically that's taken away from you through the means of danger, through the means of destruction and woe. You know what I'm saying? So perilous times, as the scripture said, it's coming upon us. Dangerous times, meaning things going to be taken from you, not by just, it's going to be taken from you by force. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Not willingly. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? And then it said the hour of temptation. The hour of temptation is when the CHIP is made mandatory amongst your society, man. Okay? Where you have no other choice but to choose that or death.
That's
or
why,
life or death.
That's why I brought it out earlier in 2 Corinthians 16, talk about being no tried and no fire.
Right.
The Lord said, He said, you can deliver us from the same. He said, the days of trouble right here, I will deliver you from the same. Ultimately, the main thing we need is time is faith. That's what the Lord is building us up right now to have faith in Him, because we're going to come into uncertain times with your faith and how about sides will keep you anchored and rooted, man. So look, I don't got food right now, but I believe how about sides will come through this. That's the main thing that's going to help you keep your head. Then these other people, let's say they got food and stored up. Once they run out of that food, like shit, now I gotta go out and get it. You know what I'm saying? Think about that. You may even have somebody so-called prepped a little bit. They got weapons inside the house. They just in the house chilling for a little bit. Not to say like I'm just throwing it out there. It's like a month later they run out of food. Now we have to go out into the elements. Now you through. You know what I'm saying? But someone who has faith in you, how about you outside? That's the main thing the Lord's going to get ready. He said, try to go in the fire, man. The Lord's going to test you to see if you really believe and trust in Him, man. Because we're going to be in some horrible situations, man. We're going to be in some situations where it looks bleak. It's like, man, I don't know how the hell I'm going to get in the situation. Maybe the concentration camp, like, bro, how the hell am I going to get out of here, man? You got to have faith in the Lord's going to come through for you, man.
Yeah, to remember the scriptures, man.
Yeah.
That's the spirit. That's our comfort.
Mm-hmm.
So when we in those times, that's why the brothers always, especially Apostle Carl, he always talk about praying.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Brothers should, that's really rehearsing righteous acts. This is training. So when the battlefield is displayed on it, man, we good. We should be, okay, we should have enough to be able to sustain us on the battlefield to be able to survive and make it back home. Right? You know what I'm saying?
That's why I said, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I will keep you from the hour of temptation. You're not to be in a position to take that MOTB if you keep being faithful and trusting in the Lord.
Hey, let Marshall get that Isaiah 13, let's get that closing precept.
This is Isaiah chapter 13 and verse 15. It says, everyone that is found shall be thrust through, and everyone that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword. Their children also shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes. Their houses shall be spoiled, and their wives ravaged.
Man, seeing that instantly makes me think that vision that Elias woman had. I'm sure everybody has seen that. That one is like what global vision of judgment upon Israel, man. Basically, was named that, man. Troops, etc., torturing you, raping your family, all types of horrible different things, man. I'm saying, exactly, all types of horrible things. And it said, the previous verses said, everyone that is joined unto him, man. That's who Elias was trusting this man, bro. You trusted Esau so much, you trusted his society, so the Lord's gonna give you over to the man you trusted. Because you made him your God. You turned your back on YAHAWASHI. You made Esau your Lord. You looked like you quoted earlier about you are your father the devil, man. So you're gonna be given. That's how ironic is that? The Lord, you really trusted him so much, the Lord is gonna have to want him to be the one to judge you. That's crazy.
That tell you in Isaiah 65, they make a table for that truth.
Yeah.
So they joined that to him. Isaiah 31, both bring that hope and show forth.
Yeah.
So they joined to him, man. They're one with them, man. So you'll get the same fate as Esau. Right? That's fucked up.
Right. And going back to that verse, that the house shall be spoiled and the wives ran and children dashed to pieces, man. Hey, that's gonna be average everyday people, man. Watch again. Brothers have to watch that movie, American Blackout, man. If one dude over at one can of peaches, man, like, look, I need that can of peaches, man, for me and my wife and my family. He said, look, I need it for my wife and my family, man. So you got men killing each other over one can of peaches, bro.
Hey, and that right there represents your 2/3 right there. Because the Lord bring these plagues, shit like that gonna be happening to these 2/3 niggas, man.
Right. Yeah.
All these people that's against how much shot. That's a friend of the world, man. You know, because the Lord, he gonna protect and preserve his elect in that day. He gonna triumph at the same time. The judgments that's coming upon the earth is not for his elect, right? It's for these 2/3. That's why he's gonna deliver his elect from them.
I watched Jake being the spirit when I found the movie. I forgot the name of Salaki, but the movie, just a long story short, something happened, like stuff was going on in the world. And these group of people was this one dude had like this basement to this building. And they found that these group of people found that basement. But he was like the janitor or something. So he was like a prepper. So what he did was he built an extension to the basement so that because he knew nobody was gonna know, and he stored away all type of stuff. Long story short, they found this basement, and they knew he was the main guy. But one guy ended up peeping an extra room, and then they tied him up or whatever. The point of it is, it was women down there. It was only about 3 or 4, probably like 2 or 3. 22 and 4 women. One of them was a mother and a daughter. Okay, but as time went on, they was down there so long, they was starting to run out of food, and then all these dudes would become horny. Okay, and then it was only 2. It was mainly 2 women. I think I forgot the other one.
Yeah, it's called Bye.
They end up taking the daughter. She ended up giving her daughter over to them. They whoring her out. They killed the mother, took the daughter, or vice versa, whoring her out. And then they end up, I think, eating her or some shit. Just like once they was done holding her out, they ran the whole little thing, and then they end up eating her shit because they started running out of food. Man,
That's hella spirits too.
hell yeah.
Hella spirits. We have the spirits on her, then all the spirits that we put on from each other. That's that evil man waxing work. These people just get bugged out with their mind, just start doing all types of crazy shit.
Yep.
This is in the chapter of 13 in Isaiah, the future prophecy about America, man. All right, so when you read the whole thing, you got to apply it to America. It says, verse 17, behold, I will stir up the Medes against them, which shall not regard silver. As for gold, they shall not delight in it. That's what the brother was talking about. You know, they would pay these UN troops off, man. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I got some gold stash here. No, they got an agenda. All right.
Right, and then you're gonna have different nations invading. Exactly. Who are the Medes? The Russians. You're gonna have different adversaries that's of America invading America.
That's right. Yeah. Verse 18, it says, their bows also shall dash the young men to pieces, and they shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb. Their eyes shall not spare children.
Because the Lord is all orchestrated by the Lord. The Lord is not a respecter of person. I forgot what the brother Naquan, he said at camp, the Lord don't see flesh, he sees spirits, man. So he don't give a fuck about you being young, old, docile, not being able to defend. He care about your relationship with him, what you did that he's not pleased with, man. That's right. So it don't matter who you are. It does matter who you are, but the Lord not referencing or based off emotions. The Lord is going to use Esau to his fullest extent. And the scriptures talk about you better not destroy in vain, man. The Lord is going to what? He's going to show his omnipotency. He's going to bring out everything in his arsenal to destroy this place and everybody that's joined with it. He's going to use the beast of the field. to his highest power, to his highest extent. He's gonna use Esau. He's gonna use his own prophets, man. He's gonna use everything in his bag and throw it all out. That's why the scriptures talk about it should be a time like no other. Because nothing has ever in history happened like this before.
Even all the creations that Esau's created in his labs, man. You know, he got all type of, you know, robotic dogs, you know what I'm saying? You know, gene splicing, making, you know, weird creatures.
Right.
You know, the Lord's gonna use all of that, man, again, as for judgment. All right.
God does say this Sirach 4:28. Strive for the truth unto death, and the Lord shall fight for you. So all you gotta do is just endure to the truth. I mean, endure the truth, you know, because at the end of the day, the judgment for not being in the truth, for not seeking help by shot, the judgment is Jacob's trouble and all these different plagues. That's your judgment for not seeking the Lord. So you better off just fighting for the Lord, endure to the end for the Lord, so the Lord can fight for you at the end. You know, because the Lord, He going to remember the ones who were serving Him, who were seeking the righteousness. Right. If you wasn't doing that, He's not about to fight for you. He's not about to do nothing for you. He's about to be like you say kind of that, and like you said on Matthew, I never knew thee. Who was you?
And also too, like it too, it talks about, you know, strive for the truth until death.
That's
you know, Lord shall off slack. Right?
So you gotta just keep fighting for the Lord. You gotta just keep, keep serving the Lord. That's the best option. You know, outside of that, it's no other option. It's so death.
I just got one more real quick. This is Zechariah chapter 14. I'm sorry, verse 2. It says, "For I will gather all nations against Jerusalem to battle, and the city shall be taken, and the houses rifled, and the woman ravaged."
Man, the Lord is bad about it, man. Like you're like a father and a child, man. Lord about to spank Israel, man. For all you Israelites don't want to pay attention to the truth, man. You want to disloyal, you want to talk shit, come out kind of board, scoff brothers, man. Whereas I hear, man, the spirit can play the apostle right now. The apostle's been out there for decades, man. You know how much shit. Think about over the decades, how much shit, like, Israelites not the truth talking about the apostle. All of you about to get judged, man. Eventually, you will come to the day of the consequences of your actions, man. You didn't want to repent. You didn't hear the words. So now you got to get judged. Part of the way the Lord's going to judge you is like how the Lord reading, man.
Hey, the Lord doesn't change. So it was a point where Israel was going in a whole bunch of Sodom. And then the Lord said, "Well, He gave them over to their vile affections." So the Lord's going to give these people over to their lust, man. Like, oh, we're talking about city girls. Every single bitch on Instagram, rather they portray themselves as conservative and I got this job and I do that. But you go down, the next picture over is them bending over, that's their poses, man. Bending over or twerking or some shit. The Lord gonna give them over to that shit. They all gonna be over. They gonna be all, you know, their body's gonna be used in that day.
Hey, they want to rock the cock carousel. Carousel go ride them.
The scripture says something about that, that the Lord will choose your delusion, man. Right. You know what I'm saying? So whatever your mind is set at, that's what the Lord's gonna give you, man.
And like this scripture you just read, I don't know if this was the second or third one that you just read, but it's been more than scripture. It's been more than one scripture we just read that said what wives ravaged. So that show you right there, the woman, they don't even got a chance. Like they don't stand a chance. Like it's like the chance of the woman is zero to even make it, man. You know?
Unless you got a man of the Lord, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna finish this out though. I'm gonna talk about Zechariah 14:2. "For I will gather all nations against Jerusalem to battle, and the city shall be taken, and the houses rifled, and the woman ravaged, and half of the city."
Oh yeah, and like I say in the New Testament, the parable of YAHAWASHI, it said once you take the strong man out, and everybody else is over with. It's over. And so it's like it's a man not gonna make it. How much more for you women? You know, y'all ain't gonna stand a chance in that day, man. You know, you'll get ravaged.
Making me think of the law-abiding citizen. The beginning of it, have y'all seen that with Jamie Foxx? Oh, yes. When they took his wife, when they robbed him, they raped his wife in front of him. But it's not. He was nothing he could have did, man. Because he was overpowered, man. Okay, because there's gonna be a lot of gangs clicking up, and it's, you know, like the movie show, like these people that they you know, like even in the book of Eli, yeah, you know, trying to get on Denzel tripping. You know, they're gonna have people clicking up, man. See if you got it, bro.
Yeah. It says, and half the city shall go forth into captivity, and the residue of the people shall not be cut off from the city. And that's just the point, you know what I'm saying? Because when you go in, it says that half the city shall go forth into captivity. YAHWASHI said that the devil shall cast some people into prison. All right, so this is the point where we're making the point where these times is gonna be so great where we don't even know if we're gonna make it, man. You know what I'm saying? The Lord willing, we make it. You know, and that's the whole point we're trying to make.
Yeah, the scripture says in Matthew 24:13, he that endure till the end, the same should be saved, man.
And then that go back to that striving, because we're going to the word strive, one of the definitions is to fight. Because when you fight and you, all right, okay, you can have the confidence and you can be like, okay, I'm about to beat this person ass or whatever. But at the same time, you don't even know you're about to win that fight at the end of the day. That's the whole point of you fighting. You're going to know you won until when the fight is over with. You know, it's going to be made manifest who won, especially if it's a fight and you fight to death or something. You don't know if you're about to make it out of that fight, man. So we don't know if we're gonna make it on the chariots and that we're gonna be overtaken by the destruction. We're just hoping and we just fighting that we do make it. That's what we're fighting for, to receive salvation.
It's lucky too, and that's, you know, you have mentioned fighting about, you know what I'm saying, going hand-to-hand combat. Even King David said that blessed be the Lord that teaches my hands to fight. Roughly paraphrasing. All right, so it's all in the power of YAHWASHI, okay? Because it don't matter if you Floyd Mayweather. Okay, you might Floyd Mayweather may be a brother from the hood. That's a man of the Lord. And Floyd Mayweather making his ass whip, man. You know what I'm saying? Because Floyd Mayweather, his money ain't gonna be able to save him that day.
Yeah,
you got it, bro.
Yeah, just some real quick. This is Psalm 70, because brother made a couple points. Psalm 73:17. Until I went into the sanctuary of the Most High, then understood I could end. And that's why we understand, we can talk like this, because we understand what's going on, because we went into the sanctuary of the Lord. Right? Okay, and he's giving us understanding of what's about to come, so we can properly prepare ourselves to the best of our ability that he allows, man. You know, jumping down to this is the next chapter, I think, Psalms 74, 12. For the Most High is my King of old, working salvation in the midst of the earth. So yeah, so in the midst of this chaos, the Lord is working salvation. You know, because he's the same power in the old times that saved Noah, that saved Elijah, fed Elijah by a bird, a raven, or so forth. You know, sent him to the one and so forth. It's the same power that's always redeemed the meek, man. So he's going to do that again. All right, because hard times is approaching society, man. All right, bad times, man, dangerous times. This is Psalms 51:8. Babylon is suddenly falling and destroyed. So like Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her and take balm for her pain, if so be she may be healed. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her and let us go every one into his own country, for her judgment reaching into heaven and is lifted up even to the skies. Man. So a place where her iniquity is at its max, man. You can't survive in a place like that, man. There's no way you can survive in a place where it's completely lawlessness, man. Okay? So the Lord has to redeem, he's the only way we can make it out of these hard times that's coming, going back to the title, hard times in society, man. Because we ain't seen nothing yet. Brothers talking about, man, I've been through this, I came up with mud. Hey, look, man, what the Lord is about to show, he's about to prove everybody wrong, man. Okay, he's about to prove everything he's saying and everybody wrong, man. It says, Ezekiel 7:15, the sword is without, and the pestilence and the famine within. He that is in the field shall die with the sword, and he that is in the city, famine and pestilence shall devour him. Going back to that second Ezra we read, you know what I'm saying? So it's really no way to escape. It says, but they that escape of them shall escape, and shall be on the mountains like doves in the valleys, all of them mourning every one for his iniquity. All hands shall be feeble, and all knees shall be weak as water. They shall also gird themselves with sackcloth, and horror shall cover them, and shame shall be upon all faces, and baldness upon all their heads. They shall cast their silver in the streets, and their gold shall be removed. Their silver and their gold shall not be able to deliver them in the day of the wrath of the Lord. They shall not satisfy their souls, neither fill their vows, because it is the stumbling block of their iniquity. And that goes back to all the points we was making. Well, these people is not going to be able to survive, or whether we are brothers here, you know, because these people are not going to be able to survive because they trusted in riches. I tell you in 2 Andrews 3 that the heathen flow in wealth. Okay, Yahawashi said himself, you can't serve God and mammon, going into money. So some way, somehow, these people don't use money as a defense; they use money for pleasure. So that's going to be they say what the stumbling block of their iniquity in that time. That's why the chaos that's coming is going to be so bad, because you're not going to be able to buy your way out of the situation to where you and Chip, the brother mentioned earlier. You're not going to be able to buy your way out of the you know, your jam, man. Okay, because like the brother mentioned earlier, I was watching, going back to his clip. He said, yeah, the system used to be ran off the bargaining system. So people don't even know what's valuable to be able to trade. You know what I'm saying? So these type of the smallest things mentioned earlier, smallest things is going to be high commodity. It's going to be high value in that time, man. But the majority of the world don't know what the smallest things is that are required of that. You know?
Yeah.
Come on.
Real quick, straight to the point. What's with Solomon 3:19? For horrible is the end of the unrighteous generation. And it's straight to the point, man. Everything, all the wickedness that we're vexed by, all the wickedness that we see is why the judgment is being ready to bring forth and why hard times come upon the society. You know? So, Lord, with that edifying, man, that we give all praise, honor, and glory to
BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, HAQADASH.
A double honors to Apostle of Great Millstone, teach word who will, with censorship, long for the leg, and the Bible going on the
Abide the Lord. Shalom.